Hey y'all, this is AL Thick Madame and Cinnamon Sugar, and I am about to pull off from work. They might be trying me Sunday, meaning I might have to actually pull a 12-hour shift. Not sure yet, but I'm gonna pray that something changes because I don't want it. I don't want the overtime. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I don't want no parts of what they're talking about. I'm just like, somebody please do something because I'm tired. They need to hurry up and do what they're supposed to be implementing and see if that's going to work or whatever. I really don't see anything really working outside of them understanding that people are tired. And if you don't have enough people, figure out what you need to do so that people will want to stay, and let the people who want to get the overtime, let them be the ones to get it and not force it upon people like me. Anyway, hopefully y'all have had a wonderful night's rest because it's morning and y'all slept the night away. But even though it was dark outside, it was morning for me. And I was at work doing what I'm supposed to do or whatever, y'all. So today I was the breaker, and I'm like, child, the side heifer was in her department, which is one of the departments that usually gets someone to come over and break them out, if at all possible, which is stupid in the sense of they only had one person. And for some reason, they are still not understanding that one person don't cut it. Long time ago, before I ever got here, they used to have 3 people per department. And I'm like, y'all need to go back to that because no. Anyway, yeah, she was in her feelings today. Not that I care, but it's annoying because she tries to make life miserable for other people. It's crazy because I made a point to say I'm not breaking her out, meaning I'm not going to take her spot when she is going on her break. And I meant that. So, since you know everything, and since you don't, you basically march to the beat of your own drum up in here, even though there are rules that you're supposed to abide by, y'all better figure it out. So what I did was, I knew that her cousin, who y'all know is my main partner, I knew that he was going to, hold on, sorry about that. I knew that her cousin was going to be paired up with her for the first half of the shift. So I was like, okay, whatever. And then he was going to go to the new department. So since I know how he operates, I figured, okay, I'm not going to go over there until after I go to my first break. And then by the time I relieve him, it'll be time for him to go to the new department. So when I was done with my break, I came back upstairs, and I went over to him, and the side heifer was in the middle of doing something. And so, of course, whenever she sees me interacting with anybody that she has the slightest bit of an interest in, or it's her cousin, then it's a problem. And all of a sudden, she has something she needs to say. She needs to interject. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway, she didn't see me at first. So, I had rolled up on him, and I was like, you haven't gone on break yet, right? He was like, no, I haven't. I'm waiting on old boy who's supposed to come in at 4 o'clock. Old boy is the guy that I keep telling y'all about, that for some unknown reason, this boy calls me and texts me pretty much every day. Yesterday, we were on the phone for over an hour straight. I don't understand. I do not understand. And I mean, I'm supposed to be asleep for work, but I already knew I wasn't going to go to sleep prior to him even calling, because I was waiting on the recap review to upload and all that stuff. So, and then like I had been kind of thrown out of my habit, and usually on my first day back when I'm preparing, it don't work. So I already knew what it was going to be hitting for. Y'all excuse me. I know I look bedraggled. It's okay. I as long as I don't look like the side heifer, that's all. I'm going to get to that in a minute. Okay, y'all. So anyway, minding my business, doing everything I'm supposed to do, minus, breaking side heifer out, because I'm not doing it. And I wish you would roll up on anybody and say anything like, oh, she ain't breaking me out, and she didn't do this, and she didn't do that. I wish you would. So anyway, the guy, for whatever reason, we was talking yesterday, and I mean, we actually, it ain't like we just be sitting on the phone not saying nothing. We really be talking, and I'd be like, why? What is this about? What's going on here? Like, I really be confused, y'all. And like I keep telling y'all, I don't have the slightest interest in him. He young. I ain't saying he young as in I don't fool with young dudes that are of age. You know what I'm saying? Not R. Kelly young. So anyway, let me stop. But yeah, I'm definitely not no R. Kelly. And none of these other, what's that heifer? Is her name Brittany Renner or whatever that heifer? I ain't that. But yeah, he is like 25, 26 or whatever. So, you know what I'm saying? That's probably around the youngest that I would deal with or whatever. But no. Anyway, he got 2 young kids. His youngest is 10 months old. And if I'm not mistaken, he lived with the baby mama. And I'm like, child, I ain't dealing with nobody that live with their baby mama. I'm not doing it. I'm over here working. Me and you getting paid the same. And I understand you have mouths to feed, but I'm just saying. Like, I know people who get less than me, who was working at jobs where we was getting paid minimum wage, and somehow they making it and got kids and they can do other things. I'm just like, nah, you ain't finna do me like that. But I'm not interested in him at all. I am not the slightest bit interested in him at all. He is hilarious, and he be making me want to slap him sometimes when he says certain things, which I will get into. So anyway, fast forward to him getting here. So he got here halfway through the shift for whatever reason. I don't know what. I guess because as of late, what is wrong with y'all? This fool came over in my lane. Y'all, see, this is why every time I'm on here, I'm always saying something about the drivers here, because they really are trash. But anyway, and if I wasn't paying it, like, it is like crazy, because it's like, if I wasn't paying attention, I would have been good and sideswiped and some more. So anyway, but yeah, old boy got here, and I texted him. I said, where are you? He was like, here. I was like, all right. So then he wanted to know where I was, because he wanted to literally lay eyes on me, I guess. And I was like, you know, I told him I was in the most hated department. He was like, all right, bet. I was like, okay. And so this fool done rolled all the way up. So the side heifer's her break was gonna be 30 minutes after he got there. Now, this is the problem with that. I don't know what this heifer do, because normally her breaks are 30 minutes before mine, or at least that's what it used to be before she started trying it. The heifer would start all of a sudden, oh, I'm going to break for an hour. Wouldn't tell nobody she was leaving. It would be gone for an hour. And it's like, ma'am, even if that's just your only break for the day, you ain't communicating nothing with nobody. And your department is not necessarily, you know, free of issues popping off. So don't nobody want to be over there having to handle your side and they side for an hour, which usually ends up being more than an hour, because she is always wandering away from her area, away from her department, to stand up in somebody else's husband's face. So I'm just like, girl, please get somewhere and sit down. So anyway, y'all know where I'm going. I'm going to the car wash. But yeah, so I asked old boy through text message. I said, hey, do you think you will be okay to take that heifer spot, which is basically, you know, both of y'all, you take both of y'all spot, you do what you got to do, and, you know what I'm saying, just run all of it at a certain time, right? Y'all excuse me, I got to get the receipt tile.
Welcome to our car wash.
Okay, thank you. Where my receipt at, though? Thank you.
Please take your receipt.
Oh no. Child, can you go? What is going on here? Y'all, my bad. Anyway. But yeah, he was like, well, she already gone. I was like, what you talking about? I was referring to her last break. Because, like I said, I didn't know what this heifer had going on, because she just do what she want to do, and she just thinks she the be all end all and can just do what she want to do at will. And it's like, heifer, that's not how this go. But go off though. Anyway, so she doing the most, which is the least at all times. And you know, he was like, well, I'm cool. I was like, okay. And so when she was supposed to be on her way back, I was going to be going to my break. And so he was like, I can't stand her. She always doing the most. Is this a police officer behind me, or is this somebody with a, wait a minute, with a bicycle rack? Oh no, this is a police officer. Child, I just saw him a minute ago. I was like, what is this? Yeah, he is definitely behind me doing the most. Child, a state police officer or somebody. I don't know if y'all gonna see the lights or what. Alright. And so, yeah, it's a state police officer, child. Thank you. That is so sweet. Thank you. But yeah, it's a state police officer. I'm gonna see if y'all can see it while I'm going through here. But yeah, he back here. I saw him pass by a second ago. I guess he saw us and then he whooped back around, because I'm like, I just saw this man. Anyway, so I'm telling him, oh no, I was talking about her last break. Because I didn't even know the heifer was doing what she used to do, which was take her breaks. Pretty much all 3 of her breaks are 30 minutes before I take my breaks. So anyway, whatever. So then he was like, I can't stand working with her. Keep in mind, y'all, he ain't barely worked with this heifer before. This might be the first real time he's actually worked with her. So I'm like, what in the world is he talking about? But anyway, go off though. But the fact that you have barely even worked with her, you can't stand working with her, you already know she got a nasty attitude. And then when I did make my way over there and I saw him, he was like, man, she got an attitude. I don't like her attitude. Because I was like, what is it that you don't like? Because it ain't like you really worked with her before. He was like, man, I don't like her. She got a nasty attitude. And she was mean mugging me earlier. I was like, that's what she does. And so I made a joke. I was like, well, I thought that might have been something that you enjoyed, because a lot of y'all men like when we mean mug y'all. And, you know what I'm saying, you didn't find that attractive? He was like, what am I supposed to find attractive about that? I was like, you tell me. A lot of y'all live for it. Like, if I'm mean mugging, dudes be getting their life. And I've had to realize that over the years, because I used to feel like if I look like I'm uninterested, which usually is me mean mugging, that means leave me alone. Oh no, for some reason that's come hither. I don't understand why, but it is. For dudes, they're like, oh, come hither. Come hither. And then like, some of them will have the audacity to be like, you don't need to look like that, you need to smile. Sir, leave me alone. And then if I'm not smiling and that's not that type of dude, and he live for that, he looking like, I like that, you know what I'm saying? I can tell you this way and that way, and I be like, you can't tell nothing, because I'm actually the complete opposite of what you thought you could tell. But anyway, so she over there doing like she normally do, which is posted up looking at somebody's face, and I don't be understanding. I don't understand the stupidity. I really don't. But anyway, I was thinking that it was going to be a situation where she like, oh, well, I'm the be all end all. I'm good. I don't need nobody to do nothing for me. So it wouldn't have been no problem. Well, when it came time for him to take his break, I had already talked with him. I was like, oh, do you want to go at this time? Because I'll be able to break you out at that time, because I'll be free. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing that I do hate. I hate that because of the situation where we are limited on the amount of people that are there, and it's not a set schedule of all of the people who are going to be up here. We all came in at the same time. We all leaving out at the same time. It messes up how the person who is the breaker does things. And I just don't like being a breaker in general anyway, unless it's a situation where I'm dealing with people who are cool, who actually have common sense, who actually act accordingly, who are not trash whores that sit up there and act as if they are better than. And it's like, ma'am, you are a hurrah. You know what I'm saying? You are a harlot. Like, ma'am, if you don't get out of here trying to roll up on somebody, always trying to come for somebody, and it's like, ma'am, I'm gonna need for you to go and reevaluate your life before you try to come for me. Like, I don't be understanding the audacity that this heifer has. So anyway, he told her, oh, well, I'm waiting on her. She coming. She was like, you ain't got to wait on her. Like, went off. I was like, huh? Because he had texted me. He was like, yo, she wildin'. I was like, what you mean? He was like, yo, she a trip. So I'm like, well, what are you even talking about? So I'm thinking she done tried him. But here she comes, saying something slick, talking about, oh, you ain't got to wait for her, and What is you talking about? And I wasn't late. I wasn't late to come and relieve him. So I'm like, well, what is the problem? He said he was waiting on me, and it doesn't matter if I'm going to stay there the entire time he's gone on his break. So I don't understand why you wanted to interfere. All you had to do was shut up once he said, oh, I'm good. She about to come around the corner and relieve me. That's all you had to say. But it just, something that was just on the inside that made her be like, oh no, well, you ain't got to wait on her. You can go ahead and go to break, and went off. Like, girl, get somewhere. So anyway, what is this? What is that? I'm gonna have to look that up. I swear they be creating crap around here. This is the type of city where they create businesses that don't even make no sense, and then they pack it out, and then I'm like, y'all don't even have no explanation as to what this even is. Like, I'm gonna have to look it up and see if there's an explanation online as to what it is, because I'm not finna roll up. Could be a Klan meeting for all I know. I ain't got time for it. So anyway, my bad. But yeah, the heifer doing what she normally do, which is hating. Old boy, and then it's funny because when old boy was texting me, he was like, what did you do to her? And I was like, I ain't do nothing to her. Then when he got up on me, he was like, man, you did something to that girl. You did something to her. And instead of him going to break immediately, he over here trying to figure out what I did to her. I'm like, I didn't do nothing to her. I existed. I put in the application. I ended up getting the job, and I started working here. That is all I did. I didn't do nothing to this dusty heifer. So anyway, he was like, man, she got it out for you. I don't understand. And like, everybody can see it. And then like, I went on my last break, and the woman who the married man rolled up on, and she gave the wrong number to him, she was like, oh, that's you. I didn't know if that was you or not. She was like, I've been waiting on you. So she peeked around the corner, because like where I like to take my break, you can choose to have privacy, or you could just be out in the open. I just be out in the open 99% of the time, depending on what I'm doing. So she, opted for privacy, but then she opened it up wondering if it was going to be me or not, because of the time that I came in. She was like, oh, good. I was waiting on you. So I was like, what's up? So she was like, so how did it feel to work with your sister? I was like, if one more of y'all say this heifer is my sister. Like, I don't understand why everybody try me and be like, oh, that's your sister. And I keep telling them my sister resides in Montgomery, Alabama. And that heifer don't look nothing like my sister. Like, do not try me. Like, y'all really be trying it. And the one person in there that don't never try me like that, when I told him that they say that they heifer my sister, he was like, why? I was like, I don't know. He was like, I know they ain't trying to say that y'all look alike, because she ugly. All day, the conversation was, she ugly. Where that ugly MF at and some more. I was like, all the day they was reading her. I was like, oh my gosh, why? Every single person who brought her up was like, where that ugly MF at? And don't nobody find her attractive. Then her attitude adds to it and makes her come off uglier than she already physically is. So I'm like, girl, you need to pick a struggle. Like, you have too much audacity for me. But then you want to sit up there and try folks when you don't even have a leg to stand on. It's sad. But the fact that people who don't even know you like that just started working here, they are not off their 90-day probationary period, and they really have not for real worked with you before, already can tell that you're trash and cannot stand you. They already don't like you, and that's crazy. That's sad. That speaks volumes, and not in a good way. So yeah, y'all, the few moments so to speak that I had to work with that heifer, I was just like, man, I just can't. I cannot stand to have no dealings with her. I don't want to have to be nowhere near her. I just don't want my energy to be drained and sacrificed, and I ain't got time for my vibrations to go down into the pits of hell like hers are. And I just don't have time. I just be like, girl, you need to find something else to do. You need to find something else to do. I don't understand what's going on. Everybody swears she must be hating on me because she has this random disdain for me. And it's like, girl, I have done nothing but come to this job and work. That is all I did. I come to work and do my job, and you find a problem with my existence just because. Like, girl, I don't have time. So people have been like, oh, so well, what you gonna do when they end up changing our hours and stuff, what day you gonna pick and all that. I was like, look, I don't know who this is riding my bumper, but they better get on. Y'all stay doing the least. Anyway, and I'm gonna keep on driving the speed limit that I'm driving. Better get on somewhere. Anyway, and I told them that I'm thinking of 2 different things. Y'all tell me why this woman that I told y'all about before, one time we had a meeting and she works on another shift. She asked me to sit with her. This is the same person. She just told me today, she was like, well, I asked her, I said, well, did they pull you in so that you could choose your days that you wanted to do when they do this realignment? And she was like, yeah, they did. But she was like, but guess what? Don't nobody know this. They sent out emails to certain people, and they ended up skipping over her because some kind of way they made it so they were saying that the side heifer has been there longer than her when she hasn't. And so you have to go in a certain order in order for them to be like, oh, okay, well, hopefully if you want to work this shift and these particular set days, you put in when they call you into the office or whatever and say, that's what I want to do. So I would love it if the side heifer would go to another shift, but I'm pretty sure she's going to stay on the shift that I'm on. I mean, I can only dream, but I'm just saying. So I'm pretty sure that's not going to change. I'm pretty sure she's going to still stay with the Monday through Friday and all of that. And I'm just like, child, I don't want it because I want to have my days away from her. I love not having any. Look at this fool is texting me right now. The man who be talking about how ugly she is texting me right now. I can't. So anyway, but yeah, the fact that somebody on another shift, and several people at that, keep rolling up on me about this heifer, about so many different things, it speaks volumes yet again, and in a negative way. Like, I just be like, child, I wish I knew what I could do so that she can be out the door. It was already a great thing when her sister left, got fired or whatever. I think her sister got fired. I thought she ended up leaving, but no. Come to find out she got fired. I'm like, well, dang, why can't she get fired too? Get up out of here. So I just be like, Lord, somebody please do something. I'm trying to figure out what I can do. I'm really trying to figure out what I can do. Because as I've already told y'all before, and as everybody who knows me should know, this is not my final destination. This job is not where I'm supposed to be. This is a stepping stone job. I am grateful for it. But I am not about to be there for the rest of my life. That is not my calling. That is not what I'm supposed to do. And that's not what the calling on my life has anything to do with. It just does not. Now, what happened was I met a few people along the way, and they were meant to be in my life, and that's about it. But as far as me being there on payroll, oh no, that's not my final destination, unlike the side heifer. Until she get fired, that's where she gonna be. Her plans are to stay there and retire, I guess, or whatever. And I'm just like, girl, ain't nobody got time for it. I don't. But yeah, I ain't got time for the foolishness. And she really will sit up there and look in your face and create a situation where you might be forced to struggle or be out of the loop, when if you are doing what you're supposed to do teamwork wise, meaning we both working together in the same department, whether I'm the breaker or I'm actually assigned to be in that department with you that day, you should be able to communicate with me that something has changed. especially during a time when I did not have a radio initially. I didn't have a radio, and there were moments where things popped off, and I'm like, you raggedy heifer, you ain't said a word, and then the people had to come up there and tell me what was going on. Nobody should have had to come and tell me nothing. Nobody should have had to come to tell me nothing, because you knew. They had already called up there and told you that there was a sudden change or there was something else that was going on. But that's how trifling she is. And then she'll stand up there and watch you have to, do something quickly that you shouldn't have had to do, because she just ignorant like that. And I'm just like, child, I ain't got time for it. But anyway, see how this has been mainly about her? That's how trash her energy is. And like I said, there have been so many people who have come up to me, people who are some of the sweetest people I have ever encountered in my life. They can't even stand her. This woman, who she was another person who she was gonna work the first half in her department, and then she was gonna end up going to the new department. Well, I saw her on break after I had already, relieved her, and then she went and, did what she had to do, because she was no longer up there for the rest of the day. And I thought that she said that because it wasn't operational in that moment, that she was going to come back up there to the side heifers department and help out. She was like, she cussed at everything. She said she wasn't coming up there to help nothing. She said the side heifer can do whatever need to be done on her own or some more. She went off. And it's like, this is how crazy it is. She had to remember. She had to remember she was talking to me, and to kind of snap out of it, because she was kind of like, oh, I'm sorry. But no, I'm not going up there. Like, she had to, you'll be understanding. It's like, when it comes to her, it makes your mind go to another place, because that's how trash of a person she is. And like, this woman, she don't never really, like, I don't never have no issues with her, but the fact that she did that, you could tell that her mind went somewhere else, and she was like, oh no. No, ain't nobody got time for it. So yeah, y'all, everybody is sick and tired of her, and I'm just like, if everybody's sick and tired of this heifer because she's trash, she's a trash excuse for a human being, then why is it that y'all see fit to just let this heifer stay? And I mean, we have so many people that once Monday gets here, it's going to be 5 or 6 of us as an excess. There's going to be so many of us there because there are so many new people. And I'm just like, why is it that we somehow can't, be done with that heifer? Like, she's not valuable. She's really not. Like, don't understand what's going on here. I'm not understanding. But yeah, y'all. I don't know how far along that is. But yeah. But yeah, I had a good day despite raggedy people existing. I just ignore her and go on about my business. But it's crazy because, like I told y'all, that's what I used to do. And I would get through my days by ignoring the fact that she exists. And it used to bother her. It was like, oh my gosh, what was that thing? I can't even remember the reference. But anyway, it bothered her that I wasn't bothered by her. That's crazy. Like, you want to stir up drama. You want me to be upset. Like, it's like, girl, it's like she gets joy. She gets joy from that. And I'm like, girl, you're not going to get it from me. Now, if she ever in her life decides she want to jump bad, I just hope she touch me first. I just want her to touch me first. That's all I'm asking. Lord, let her touch me first. Because once she touched me, it's a wrap. All of the anger and hostility that I have ever had is going to be unleashed. I'm just saying. And I don't want to be like that, but y'all don't understand. If y'all dealt with this heifer and saw the way she treat people for no reason, y'all would understand if somebody was to stomp a mud hole into this heifer. If somebody was to stomp her out, y'all would understand. Like, I foresee this woman dragging her down a flight of steps and proceeding, once she gets to the bottom, to beat her down and bang her face into the ground. Like, I really see it. But anyway, y'all, thank y'all for tuning in to the foolishness. That is my job. But anyway, y'all, have a good one. I'll see y'all later. Bye.